So my stance was kind of stems from this COVID thing where so many police officers were so willing to just pull people out of places like a regular restaurant or a Walmart or a Whole Foods for not wearing a mask.
Right.
And so I tend to lean back and forth on police. Should we have more police? I don't know. Should more people that are relatively innocent get in trouble to um, quell the complete violence? I don't know because the violence is completely out of control. But I actually am now leaning towards Michael Malice stance where I'm saying, no, I think the police should completely F off and don't touch anybody because I have a right to go wherever I want without a
Yeah.
mask. But I think I'm completely jaded by the mask thing at this point where I saw police pulling people out of places because they didn't have a vax card, pulling people out of places because they didn't have a mask on. So I'm completely jaded by stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
I think one thing that would definitely help fix this, and it's not, it has nothing to do with laws, it has nothing to do with political standing, it has nothing to do with changing the unions, it has nothing to do with changing anything as far as it goes with cops, but hold these cops, the
well,
bad cops, accountable socially. Like if you own a
well,
business and they're trying to shut your business down, do not allow those people in your business to eat. If they're not in public, if they're the off duty, don't ever let them in your business again. If they're trying to shut you down, if they're trying to say that you can't run your business if you don't have masks, if they're trying to go against the Constitution and say that you don't have these gun rights or you don't, we're gonna do these unconstitutional things to you and your business, do not allow those people to go in your business. Do not allow these people, shun these people and socially so they feel the actual burn like to themselves, right?
yeah, of course. It's really easy for these people to walk inside your business and say you don't get to own a gun or you don't get to wear a mask or you don't get you don't because who enforces the law? Them, of course. So if they don't want to enforce it, they just don't. Oh, I get to go to Dunkin' Donuts today without my mask on because I'm a police officer and I can do that.
Yeah.
But I actually really quickly want to, unless you want to go ahead and talk about something else really quick, I want to say something about the unions. I think unions are garbage. I think we're
Horrible.
going to agree with that.
Absolutely
Why
horrible.
would why why would I want somebody else to negotiate my wages and hours and benefits for me? I don't know. I
I,
wouldn't. I would
I, I
want to negotiate them for myself.
I think unions were specifically created to develop a psyche in people where they would rather rely on someone to negotiate for them, and it kind of developed into a system where people would rather not take their own life in their own retirement into their own hands and their own benefits into their own hands, where they would rather just say take a portion of my pay and just figure out how to give me
Do
benefits.
it for me.
Yeah.
Do it for me.
It's one of the
These people
worst
are
things
crazy.
that could ever happen to the American people, people in general, but to the American person, it is the complete opposite of freedom. It's the complete opposite of the American dream. It's the complete opposite of everything we strive to do.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And it protects useless people. The worst part about the union is the useless people that need to be fired get protected by the unions, and that's
Yeah.
why so many companies and businesses fall when there's unions and get so corrupted because there's 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 so many people that don't deserve to work for a specific company or in a specific field, and they just get backed by these unions and they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I really quickly want to do one more quick, probably 10-minute talk before we wrap her up for
Well,
the day.
yeah, let's. I have one more thing I want to just wrap the whole police thing up with, and then let's do the last segment we're gonna do. Let's do a 10 minute like Rumble exclusive sort of thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, I don't want anyone to think that I'm anti-cop because I'm not. I think it is a good.
Tyler's anti-cop.
I think the majority of cops do serve their constituents, but and the more and more we go on, the more draconian and the more anti-constitutional laws and the more anti-constitutional politicians get put into place. You have more and more sheriffs, and you have more and more police and state police that are actually actively going against, some executive orders, specifically in New York. Like, I don't know if you heard about the incident that happened. I think it was I think it was in Utica. It was out that way in an Applebee's where this person came in with a knife and was just slashing people. Like, came in, cut like three waitresses, and was just going on a knife rampage. And this innocent um, bystander was carrying concealed and gunned the person down. Never shot him. Had his gun on him. Gave him the commands. Made him drop the knife. Made him get on the ground and made him stay there until the cops came. Cops shook his hand and they never prosecuted him. And they said, "We're not going to prosecute him. He saved the day." If cops were like that, the majority of the time, I would 100% be for the cops all the time. But that's just not the case all the time.
I think part of the reason that I'm not for them is because I'm so strictly constitutional. I mean, I've missed the part where it says on the Second Amendment, your right to bear arms shall not be infringed except for when you're in an Applebee's,
Right.
or except for
Right.
insert thing here,
Right.
except for when you have a capacity magazine that's 20, or except for when you're in Utica, New York.
Right. So hang
except
on.
for when you have a mental illness. And I'm not even advocating for people with mental illness to have a gun, but I miss the part in the Constitution where it says that if you have schizophrenia, you can't have a gun.
Yeah. So
I just I'm not advocating for that. I'm going out of my way to advocate for that, but I miss the part in the Constitution where it says, "Oh, if you take an SSRI, you can't own a gun."
Right.
If you aren't financially stable, you can't own a gun. If you live in California, you have to go through 7 hula hoops to own a gun. If you live in New York, you have to ask permission to the government to own a gun.
Yeah.
I miss that part. Is it in fine print in the Constitution? Because that's the only part that really confuses me, because to me, I think it says shall not be infringed, which means that guy in the Applebee's shouldn't have to be thanked. That should be every person in the Applebee's.
Right. No, I agree. But so to finish this point off, the reason I bring up the specific case is because I don't know if you stay, up to date with like the Kathy Hochul or the executive orders that she was trying to pass with the Second Amendment. But one of them was you're not allowed to have a gun in any place that sells alcohol. So by her executive order, this dude should be in jail, right? But the cops came in and they did not prosecute him, and they said, "We will not prosecute him. He was in the right and he shouldn't be prosecuted. He was pretty much a hero." And it takes those cops to stand against our dictator of a governor to finally come to some sort of this is the standard now. I mean, so I've gone to many, we call them freedom meetings, but I've been to many meetings with people that like-minded that talk about this, that try to educate people on the system. And
oh, okay, yeah, so you're a terrorist.
Pretty much, yeah, domestic. And so we actually had the sheriff.
Yes, it's the FBI.
So we had the sheriff.
We got him. Yeah, no, we got him.
He said it alive. So we had the sheriff actually show up and specifically said, we grilled him like on all of this stuff, and he said that he, along with all of the rest of the county sheriffs in the state, they have frequent meetings, and they got together and said they will not be enforcing Kathy Hochul's executive orders. Now, we have to be holding them to that, because if they stray at all from that and they start enforcing them, we need to vote these people out. These county sheriffs need to be held to account, and if they're not going to do that, we need to vote them out. And if they're not going to be constitutional, what do we do?
And so if they're not going to be constitutional, I don't have a good answer to that, and I will not say it on camera.
Right. No, I feel the same way, and I'm not going to say it on here either. I hear you.
Yeah, I know. FBI, get FBI. I saw your pants get a little shorter when I said that, so relax. I know you can put that thing away. It's going to be okay, FBI. I'm not going after anybody yet. The problem here is for now is that a lot of these people are very conservative, but the problem is that a lot of them are very beholden to a paycheck.
Yes.
And so
that's the problem.
But the major problem is not that they're beholden to the paycheck, is that because a lot of them will give that up in a heartbeat because they know that we'll back them. My local sheriff where I live, I'd give him $100 a month to protect me. I would do it as a private citizen. I would say, as long as I'm not taxed, Mr. Sheriff, I'll give you And I've actually got 100,000 people that back me in this area that will say, hey, we'll pitch in to pay a salary plus expenses for you to run a sheriff's department to keep us all safe, as long as you abide by this set of rules that we've
Right.
written out as a community.
And if
The only
everything
way
was
to
more
fix it,
localized, it would
the
work better
only
that
the
way.
only way to fix this problem is for people to actually hold town hall meetings. And town hall meetings are not actually advertised as the problem. So town hall meetings
That's what
happen
we're trying to
almost
do.
infrequently, because I have problems finding my town hall meetings where I live, and I'm a politically active person. I shouldn't have to Google search and DuckDuckGo search and do everything. It should be widely known to the average person where the town hall meeting is and when it is,
But on another
and what the
tangent, it's hard to do
requirements
that
are.
when you have a lot of social media companies censoring this stuff. So that's a tangent that we don't need to go off on, but it's not as easy as it should be to be able to allow these meetings to
Understood.
be. So let's wrap this point up, and then
Understood.
we'll do our Rumble exclusive.
I don't even need to do a Rumble exclusive. We've done it here. I'm not now. I'm PO'd.
Yeah.